last year. Lille miraculously won it after a really impressive season. However, so far this season it hasn't been so great for Lille. They're currently 10th. They are miles behind Paris Saint-Germain. They are 13 points behind the league leaders. PSG are absolutely romping the league. They're currently 7 points clear of Lens, who are in second. And they probably are going to win the league this year. But of course, look, it's going to be still a difficult match. PSG, they don't always make it easy for themselves. They did draw that last match against Marseille in the derby. But here tonight, they have got a pretty strong lineup as they take on the champions, as I said. Navas is in goal, Drogba, Kimpembe, Marquinhos and Mendes at the back for PSG. In the midfield is Herrera, Guy, and up top, of course, is Di Maria, Lionel Messi, Neymar and Icardi as a lone striker, so no Kylian Mbappe. As for the champions, Lille, they have Gribic in goal, Ronaldo, Diablo, Fonte and Selic at the back. In the midfield is Bamba, Exaka, Sanchez, Ikone, and up top, of course, is the main man, David and Yilmaz from Turkey. So a strong side there again from Lille, but look, they're going to have to be really, really up for it if they want to win this game. They do need to try and close the gap because it's not been good enough so far this season from Lille. Played 11 games, won 3, drawn 3 and lost 4. PSG, as I said, played 11 games, won 9, drawn 1 and lost 1. Well, also tonight as well with PSG, Lionel Messi obviously arriving in French football, not yet to score a goal for PSG in Ligue, and of course he's scored 3 in the Champions League out of 3 outings, so doing well in the Champions League competitions, but so far in the French top tier he's not scored any goals yet, which is, I wouldn't say it's worrying. It's Lionel Messi. He's going to score goals no matter where he goes, but you do probably expect him to score sooner or later, and will he do that here today for PSG against Lille, as I say, up against the champions? The last time these two played against each other was the French Super Cup, and I think 2 seconds, Lille, obviously I think Lille did win the Super Cup, in fact. On the 1st of August, Lille won it. It was Exaka who scored the day and obviously won the Trophée des Champions in France. And before that, they won against the PSG at the Parc des Princes 1-0. The last time PSG won this game was in the Coupe de France, which was in the 17th of March at the Parc des Princes as well. So Lille, they've won the last 2 games, so they might feel a bit confident going into this one. We'll see what happens. But I do think PSG are going to go on and win this game. As always, guys, we are going to have the PES gameplay. Of course, the PES gameplay of the match. Of course, with the commentation over the back of it. And just putting it out there for you guys. PES gameplay, but the actual commentary and live score will be there as always. So sit back, relax and enjoy some French football, played by me, of course. Take care and make sure you like and subscribe for more football content, guys, as we pretty much stream every single day. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get straight into the stream.
Year, just 1, 2, and 3. They've allowed 9 goals away. They only allowed 12 all of last season. The Canadian Jonathan David up front with the ageless Turk Burak Yilmaz, while Timothy Weah, the young American, starting on the bench. What has been the problem for Lille? Has it just been the departure of Gaultier? I know they've lost a few players, but in all honesty, not a bad team for Gourvenec.
What's happening with Neymar, but that's very interesting. Going back to your point, I think Mike Magnan is a huge loss, obviously, but Gaultier maybe even bigger. No Somari, Andre today suspended, and that sums up their problems in the axis, Phil, when they've been vulnerable. Although, saying that, they get the leading goal scorer in Canadian Jonathan David up front.
Pochettino against Gourvenec. Just a few seconds before this one gets underway. Looks like Amaury De La Rue is ready to get us started. The whistle blows. PSG with the ball. Messi and Renato Sanchez exchanging pleasantries as Messi jogs into position to center the attack. And Phil Shane alongside Thomas Rungan. How does Messi's role change when he starts in the middle of the park as opposed to out wide on the right?
Yeah, not just in the middle of the park, Phil, as their number 9 or false 9, obviously, which allows Messi to still drop into midfield, allow Neymar and Di Maria to create depth, obviously, in their game, and still play make and get in zones with Ronaldo where he can combine. But initially,
Gay stepping in, poking it free. Messi sneaking to the edge of the 18, just got away from him. And Cheka able to counter out wide. Keep an eye in the middle. Sent across for Yilmaz, the Turk, denied by the giant Gianluigi Donnarumma.
And you just looked at the strength of PSG going forward. Oh, Messi loses possession. One ball forward by Cheka. And Ikone could have gone by himself. Placed the ball square, though, which is the better option, I think, to Yilmaz. What a good save by Donnarumma on that counter by Lille.
Almost wondering if they could have found Jonathan David with Donnarumma focused on the Turk, but a good build by Lille, denied by the Italian, who has stepped in for Keylor Navas on the day. Who knows who's the number 1 at PSG at the moment. Ball rattles around in the middle, unable to grab it back. Not quite going back to Galtier's old beep-beep days, but Ikone and Bamba both out of mothballs and in the starting lineup here today in support of David and Yilmaz. You'd almost think for a team that has given up 16 goals so far this season and 9 away from home, that going into PSG, Gourvenec would try and pack things up just a bit, but he stuck out an attacking, speedy lineup.
Absolutely. And Ikone is the one that drives actually this counter initially, that plays the ball to Yilmaz with Bamba and Ikone. They got just great guys that give you decent cover defensively, Phil. They're hard workers and so much going forward. Bit of a gamble on the road, but I think it's the right decision to be made. Timothy Way, obviously the U.S. international, starting on the bench.
Also, Renato Sanchez in the midfield. Jackie Celik and Reinildo like to push forward. I guess it also shows confidence, not just in Jose Fons, the veteran defender on the back line, but Jalot, who's stepping in for Sven Botman. So Gourvenec showing faith in his players. Let's see how it pays off. Off to the near side from Danilo. Here's Thilo Kehrer filling in for the suspended Achraf Hakimi. Messi. I remember seeing a stat a few years back as to how much he moves around, how much he runs or gets involved. I think it was also to the point of he had never scored a goal in the first 2 minutes of a match for Barcelona. Might have been including Argentina. But then you watch him foul with Neymar going down. He tends to move around, try and find a few pockets. He's watching what the defenders do when the ball goes here, the ball goes there. He's looking for those little seams to take advantage of later when the game is on the line. And then he hits the switch, but they need him today to hit the switch maybe a little earlier.
Very clear indication here of the front three. Di Maria on the right, on the ball right here. Messi centrally.
Lifted into the middle, but no true target. Font sending it wide. Headed away by Jalot, and out for the throw.
And going back to Messi, as he's so good in walking in half spaces and making himself available in tight areas where he excels.
Laid back by Messi, but intercepted. Nice read by Bamba. Out wide for Burak. And Yilmaz now leading the break, sends it wide for Sanchez. Isolated on Marquinhos. A little chip. Pereira getting his big head in the way. Bamba brings it down, looking for Yilmaz, but intercepted by Wijnaldum. And now it's headed the other way with Di Maria reaching in. And Reinildo goes in the book. He's saying he got the ball. But Amaury de la Rue saw a foul.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Di Maria still down, grabbing his calf/ankle. There was some...
He got the ball, and the follow-through went in. Di Maria seemed to get trapped underneath, which is the injury, perhaps, but it didn't appear to be a foul.
Anything nowadays from behind, cynical, hard. There's the loss of possession by Messi. There's just a great ball from Sanch. Good first touch by Ikone.
Could he have gone into the middle for David?
Yes, he could have.
But you don't turn down those opportunities.
No, you don't. And that's a great opportunity, actually. The big Turkish Burak Yilmaz would like to get that one back, Phil. Could have taken a touch, maybe, inside, since there's some space for him to do that and give himself a better angle. But it shows you what Lille still can do when balls turn over, and PSG is not very good in their rear-rest organization.
Reminder of who's actually out there at the moment for these two teams down at the bottom of the screen. It is a bit of a 4-3-3. Wijnaldum, though, sneaking forward. Gets it to Di Maria, favors his left. Font read it well and blasts it away.
Yeah, the front three right now really struggling to combine, Phil. Every pass or second pass is being cut out, and that's a danger again when you get blue numbers going forward in transition. Lille could again be very dangerous.
Poked inside, Yilmaz trying to feed it back. Now into the middle comes Neymar, harassing Yilmaz, who bursts his way through and sends it wide. Ikone again isolated against the returnee Bernat, who does well to slow him down. Danilo blocks it, but only as far as Cheka. Well, it says 4-4-2, almost a 4-2-4 at the moment from Gourvenec in the attack as they flood forward. But Marquinhos, where attacks go to die.
That's where they were so good, Phil, last year, going from a 4-4-2 to a 2-4-4, basically, with your fullbacks pushing up, with Bamba and Ikone becoming wingers, and Yilmaz and David centrally, Phil. It also allows them to gegenpress, which they've done last year very, very effectively. Not this year, up till this point. We're talking about PSG, a pivotal game in terms of Messi and Neymar. Huge game for Lille to stay somewhat close to PSG, who's somewhat running away with the Ligue table right now.
Kylian Mbappe, 5 goals, 5 assists to lead PSG, but unavailable today. Hakimi, second on the team in scoring, alongside Ander Herrera, Mauro Icardi, and Idrissa Gana Gueye. And it's the shutdown midfielder that's the only one that's actually out there in the starting lineup today. Zeki Celik in, Ikone. Oh, but nice defense, Kimpembe.
That shows you again the right fullback stepping into midfield. Renato Sanch has done a great job with Checker controlling the middle of the park against that triangle of Wijnaldum, Danilo, and Gana Gueye. The ability for them to stretch teams vertically and horizontally is huge.
Coming off to the near side, Reinildo.
Yeah, running off shoulders.
Yilmaz. And again with Jonathan David up front, he has the luxury to drop back, as does the Canadian. Try and move the defense out of place. Interesting thought sometimes when you see teams move the ball around. When you hear about it from managers a lot of times, Carrot heading it back to his keeper. It's not really moving the ball, it's moving the defense.
Absolutely, Phil. I learned it very early again in my career through some of the great players I was able to play with. Elias Figueroa, they always said in possession, patience, patience. Let something naturally occur. I said, but what do you mean by that? a defender, a line might just not move the way we want because we are moving the ball, and that's when we go. That's when we attack. You're absolutely right, Phil. Move the ball in order to move the opponent and find an opening.
There might be one for Neymar. Sprints away from Cheka, held up in a triple team. And he does get the whistle this time from De La Rue. Just nipped in the heels by Jackie Celik.
When you move the ball well, Phil, naturally certain things will occur. It's either a center back falling asleep, a left fullback not staying with a runner after your 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th pass. We call that family play. Let's keep it in the family. And then we go with depth or combination play to goal.
Play it back. Maybe not quite was intended as David puts some pressure on. Neymar tries to throw his body in front. Good ball from Ganagay in for Wijnaldum. Harassed by Ikone, and he'll retreat. Neymar. Cheka showing little respect. Let's get into this a little bit. We were talking about Messi and Neymar not finding the net from the run of play. But it's the Brazilian wearing the number 10 who has been drawing a lot more of the spotlight. Not just even creating chances. Pereira stripped away by Sanchez. We'll get to that in a moment. And here comes a flood of white shirts forward. Sanchez with help to the left and right. And he pulls the wrong card out of the hat. Nice stop by Kimpembe.
Yeah, and look at the space in midfield.
No foul? Or was it? Now the offside. Even Lille caught by surprise.
And Lille knows that when they drive, they can find even numbers or numbers up right now. Renato Sanches just waits a little bit too long, and that pass gets killed by Kimpembe. If he plays that early, Ikone might have a chance with his speed to get in the box and do something fruitful.
He had Bamba on his left with care turned, but good work by PSG as they waited for a mistake. Far side. They're not trying to keep it in play, but can't.
There's nothing worse in the game but having several options, Phil. I always love just one option.
Well, let's see what Bamba does. Sends it wide. Renildo. Denied by Kerr this time.
And Lille through the first 12 minutes, the better team, Phil. One great chance created. One or two other ones, if their final ball is better, they're in again in Donnarumma. PSG looking at nothing at target right now and vulnerable again in transition defense. The set pieces, PSG's done a great job, by the way, but this is also the strength of Lille with their captain, Font and Yilmaz.
The area, Ikone to his left. Blasts it to the 6, a swing and a miss. The rebound blasted by Cheka, and two golden opportunities for Lille, but they couldn't get it on Donnarumma.
Very proactive, Phil, very much in tune with the game, Lille right now. PSG's not very reactive on the flow of the game, through open play, and also on the set piece here, allowing Lille twice to have a bite of the apple.
Slotted through, and they're not caught. Into the middle, Yilmaz, and Ikone tried to let it run across and sends the shot wide. The flag stayed down.
And PSG high line, Phil, right now. He's behind the ball, so don't be great. What another great opportunity again. And this is again, Phil, winning a ball in midfield, playing simple, finding depth, and then have runners join you.
Play on. David lets it run. A left-footed shot that goes wide of the target, but it is all Lille at the moment.
Yeah, it's important for right now. Donnarumma, as you can see right now, this is the corner, Phil. They're late stepping. And again, second phase attack.
Jalot, the first try.
And Danilo is there because that's destined towards goal. I'm not saying Donnarumma gets caught there, but That won't be an easy ball. Time for Donnarumma. Marquinhos and Kimpembe, they take charge and lead that group in front of them, including their 2 fullbacks and their 2 holding midfielders. Because right now it's very poor.
Donnarumma, token pressure, but enough to throw off the clearance as it bounces over the diminutive Bernat. It will be a throw-in now for Lille. One right back, and here comes Neymar with a little bit of space. Tries to go through Sanchez and does, then launches it up for Di Maria, edge of the 18, and Gervich off his line.
Yeah, Gervich reads that well. The nutmeg in midfield by Neymar, the depth by Di Maria, which is important. Without Mbappe, somebody needs to try to get behind that back 4.
Sanchez flagged down at the moment. David drives, supporting run into the middle with Sheka, but good step up by Kimpembe. Looks like it would have been offside, but now here comes PSG the other way. PSG's going to try and get into a running match. Talked about Yilmaz checking in at about 36 and Font at 37, but the rest of this team is pretty young. And that's one reason why last year, en route to the title this year under Gorvanek, they'll play the full 90. PSG will know it's been in a battle here. Marquinhos. Ronaldo. Still waiting for Sergio Ramos's debut. In for Yilmaz, lets him run. Bamba looking. Again, Yilmaz 36, and he's still busting along to create a path.
And Lille has struggled this year, but you can see there's patterns of play. There's a cohesion and a chemistry of a team that normally starts 8, 9, or 10 of the same players pretty much every game. And PSG, it's a collection of 11 players right now. Again, that probably haven't played together.
Taken away, down the other. It's 3v3 if they hurry. Messi leading Di Maria and Neymar. And he tried to cut it too fine.
Just imagine you're Pochettino, and every week it's not Mbappe, it's Verratti, Ramos is not there.
On the middle.
To find chemistry. You find chemistry, Phil, by just playing games together very often. Saying that, only 1 loss of the year in all competitions. Although the last 2 games, a loss and a draw away against Marseille that you and I called in thrilling contests. No goals though. If you got to give a player of the match, if there's such a thing, within 20 minutes. You got to look at Renato Sanchez, and I don't understand why Danilo and Ganagay, when things turn over, don't step towards Seca and Sanchez. That's initially where the engine room is and where it all starts in terms of passes going forward.
Let's keep our eyes on that. Ikone, who started on the right, sliding over as Jonathan David winds his way out to the wing. Here's Cheka. You see that separation. A lot of movement from Yilmaz. And now it's Ikone leading the front line. David. Zeki Celik. Bamba. Harassed by Kerr, but he holds on. Now Cheka back. Genildo held his run, but he'll get there. Cuts back to his right foot, dishes to the left to Bamba, but the flag will come up. The 25-year-old winger, just a little ball watching.
There's the offsides, Phil. Great step or great hold your line by Marquinhos and Kimpembe, reading that game all the way and forcing the offsides. And then Lille comes with a semi-high pressure at times, and if not, they'll drop their numbers and be very stoic defensively and knowing on the counter that they can have some success.
And keeps it moving. Here's Marquinhos. Kerr with some space. Talk about awaiting our first goal. Still awaiting our first PSG shot. There have been 4 by Lille, but only 1 on Donnarumma. As we near the midway point of this opening half, well, the protege and his dad, a footballer and a coach in this Paris region. The reasons why, even though he did go to Monaco, you always sensed he would come back. Although, can they hold on to him? A big question. Messi. Lifting it long for Bernat. Well, kind of in that Jordi Alba mold, literally, through Valencia. Zeki Celik reaching in as Bernat was running away from goal.
And that would drive coaches like myself, although I unfortunately found a few people in my career that way as well, but it's totally unnecessary. You give PSG an opportunity of a set piece with Kimpembe, Marquinhos, Danilo. They've got some height, obviously. Not smart.
See Ivo Grbić there. Of course, you mentioned the departure of Magnan. Leo Jardim had been the goalkeeper. Ball inside, headed away by Jalot. Messi stripped away by Jonathan David. Now for Yilmaz, but he lost his balance and Ganagay there to sweep it away.
A better re-and-rest organization with Ganagay being there, forcing Yilmaz in a bad touch, regaining possession.
Talking about Grbić, they plucked him away from Atletico Madrid, where he was stuck on the bench. 1.0 goals against average, 77% save percentage, but just 1 clean sheet.
Yeah, what a difference a year makes, Phil. That was their strength last year, obviously.
Messi finds a pocket. Di Maria to his right, and down goes Grbić to deny.
That's a great ball by Danilo to find Messi in that pocket where he's most comfortable. He's able to turn. Always finds time and space, even under duress with players around him. Good ball to Di Maria on his weaker leg, though. Routine save, eventually, for the goalkeeper. That's the key. If your 2 number 6s, Danilo and Ganagay, can fight Messi higher up the pitch, so you don't have to go through Wijnaldum. And talk about Wijnaldum, Phil. Where has he been? Where has he been throughout this year? Another big game for Gini at this particular time, and both sides of the ball just non-existent.
Oh, Marquinhos. Pochettino's pulse rate might have gone up a bit, but the Brazilians didn't. PSG losing their last 2 against Lille in all competitions. Haven't lost 3 in a row against Lille since the 1980s. Running across Ganagay. Neymar now into the middle. Di Maria's cross deflected away for the corner. Playing some defense. Neymar in a clash of 10s maintains possession. A little shake and bake from Di Maria. Sanchez in the way, and it'll go out for a Lille throw. Sheka, the lone goal in the Tournoi des Champions. 1-0 victory for Lille.
Yeah. And then everybody thought, oh my God. Gauthier gone. We're going to have a great run again. You look at that team, Phil, only 2 changes to that starting 11 versus Lille. Only 2 players on PSG side started in that one at the start of the season. Gives you some indication. But right now, an even game between those two.
Last time they met in league play was back in April. Jonathan David, the lone match, as Lille won right here at the Parc des Princes. Neymar cuts to his right, leaves it. Bernat back to Messi, but Sanchez was ready. Sheka finding space.
You just mentioned 2 players, 2 men that have been the standout players through 25 minutes on this pitch.
Nice. And Marquinhos, adventurous by Donnarumma. Down is Wijnaldum, who starts play quickly.
Unnecessary loss of possession has really hurt PSG, Phil, and has allowed Lille to dictate the pace of the game to a certain extent. Sanch and Jack are brilliant defensively, winning their battles, but even better on the ball.
David back to Bamba. Talk about that victory in their last meeting here. Ended a more than 2-decade drought. Hadn't won in Paris against PSG since 1996. Through ball for Yilmaz, and the flag quickly up.
It's amazing how Yilmaz and David do such a good job. One drops, one finds depth. Yes, it's offside. Yilmaz normally the guy that comes underneath a little bit. He's got great feet for his side, and David leading the line. But that combination is hard to defend as well for Kimpembe and Marquinhos. When do you step into midfield if Yilmaz drops? When do you let him go and let him go run into Danilo's or Gana Gay's zone and then give information to get tight, which has not happened at this particular time?
Marquinhos, one touch, finding care. Started the season in the middle when Marquinhos was unavailable and did well, but the Brazilian return, no room at the end. Biding his time, seems to have edged out Orlin Dagba, even as a backup on this right side. Force Di Maria to the goal line, flicks it back with his left. Good step up, Jallo. A little surprised again with the absence of Botman that PSG has been unable to test the back line. Meanwhile, Kimpembe and Marquinhos forced to do their Three Musketeers impressions to keep Lille at bay.
One of the reasons is because that block of 8, that back 4, midfield 4, work so extremely hard, make spaces very tight for them to play into. I'm a little surprised that Bernat and Kerr are not making harder runs without the ball field to occupy at least 1 or 2 defenders. It's too easy.
Zeki Celik, and there's Kimpembe again. The path looks to be there. Yilmaz in disbelief. Nice by Sanchez. Bodies off Wijnaldum. Kimpembe again, and now Pereira turns out of pace or trouble. Keeps it alive in a clash with Sanchez, his compatriot. And here comes PSG. Neymar for Messi. Wide for Di Maria. Back for Messi on the volley, and he can't catch it clean.
Sure, he would like to get a big. That's Danilo. What a good hard tackle. No foul, the correct call. Messi then in transition. Di Maria with a little spinner over center backs and full backs. Messi just completely mishits that one. But maybe shades of what might come of that front three.
Well, there is no Kimpembe on the day, unavailable. They do have Mount Ricardi. Who would you pull off?
The thing is, Phil.
Nice ball in. Bamba leaves it back. Ikone, now here's Yilmaz. Cuts to the goal line. Back for Jonathan David! And he's got his 8th of the season. It's a rifle shot from short range as Yilmaz does the work and David hits the bullseye.
Yilmaz indeed, Phil, and again, switching the point of attack, getting good wide numbers. That's Lille in two positions, moving the ball with some urgency, and then again, switching the point of attack eventually to one of the better players. Based on his height, the little dip in the shoulder to the right, the acceleration past care, by the way, and the brilliant seam that Jonathan David finds to say, thanks for coming. Great execution. Poor or soft defending by PSG.
Mbappe, I think it was freshly coiffed Verratti up in the stands talking about it. Jonathan David, a league-high 8th goal of the season. Something to notice there, and we'll show it again, at least at the half. The ability for a striker to get lost. And even the great Marquinhos followed the ball when Yilmaz went to the goal line. David put the brakes on, went in reverse a little bit, and was wide open at the top of the 6. Very intelligent play from the young Canadian who has taken over Ligue by storm.
Yeah, David will be the next big player sold by Lille.
Last year, 1-0 would have been enough. Kimpembe harassed. Apologies from David. We've seen Ikone and Bamba and Yilmaz getting their chances. Jonathan David found that little pocket of space. No foul. Wijnaldum now forced to retreat.
And the correct scoreline. Lille has been so much better, Phil, by opening up the game with plays like this, being patient, coming out the other way, and then finding isolations that favors them, either with speed or with great technical ability by a big man, Yilmaz, to set up his partner, Jonathan David. Well deserved. And again, PSG down, Phil, in a game.
Chance here for PSG. Zeki Celik is back. Neymar tiptoeing through the tulips. But he never grabbed one. Good cover by the veteran Font. Age is just a number, Thomas. He's going to be 38 in a couple months' time.
Brilliant.
And I think he still might have a couple more years left in him.
The difference there in the last attack.
Gay stripped. Wijnaldum returns the favor. Cheka might have gotten stepped on in the process.
Yeah, no malicious intent by Wijnaldum. Good hard tackle, and even the respect he's giving the opponents.
Here, take a look all the way from the back. It was Jallo to his keeper, Gerbic. And out wide for Reinildo. And there's where the defense freezes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of passes still. And you talked about good teams, being patient, moving other teams, waiting for an opportunity. That's 9 passes, Phil. The 10th. By the way, not under a lot of duress defensively. No pressure on the ball, no pressure on the ball. Again, a 1v1 right here. Dipping the shoulder. Yilmaz, well done. And brilliant, as you said, by Jonathan David to just ghost away from Marquinhos, who's trying to block the passing lane and find a little pocket that's just enough.
And again, it's that ability to play off of a shoulder. Marquinhos was in perfect position for the square ball, and Ramos, who's been in that position a number of times in his career, perfect position for that square ball. He couldn't take his eye off Yilmaz, and Jonathan David knew it.
Yes, he did, Phil. Well-constructed build-up, as I said again, going one way, coming the other way. That means a back four, a midfield four has to stay connected. And if you don't, which happens after you take on care, then the domino effect starts. Then all of a sudden, Marquinhos need to get away from David to get there, hoping that Kimpembe will read it and step to David. Did not happen. The smart, intelligent Jonathan David just saying, that's all I need.
And again, you think about it.
Very Gerd Mueller-like, actually.
Very.
How do you end up always being open? Ja, Fingerspitzengefühl, meine Freund. I just feel it. I just feel it. I just smell it.
9 minutes remain in regulation for this opening half. If this score stands, the door would be open for Lens to draw within 4 points of PSG should they get a win on the weekend. And Lille would have jumped just 3 points out of second place after they started the day in 10th. In for Neymar, continues to put on a show, but he's not bringing down the curtain. Sanchez in a battle. Fair play, says De La Rue, but the ball stays with PSG. And Di Maria loses it into touch. Pochettino off the bench at the edge of his area. Difficult job in some ways for Pochettino. In many ways handcuffed. Kimpembe and Donnarumma. Smart play by the Italian. A little risky, but he doesn't surrender the throw. Now Bernat under pressure. And there he goes again. Even Keylor Navas has to smile at that one. Back to the Italian. Notice Lille keeping the pressure on.
And to me, that's the most important thing. Yes, Donnarumma's done some pretty interesting things as a goalkeeper. But the ability for Lille, for them not really to advance field, it's the first real forward pass to get out of pressure. Well done. And going back to the free-flowing false nine, that takes years of practice. So don't look at Pep Guardiola and Manchester City and say we can easily emulate that with these good players. I think this team needs a target, Phil, in particular because they haven't played together very often. So the 9 gives you a reference point. Icardi obviously being the main guy that you would think about.
Well, the other point with a false 9, in many ways, I don't want to say he's a decoy, but he's part of the equation. Get to that in a moment. Hear your thoughts. Reinildo got away from him, but he'll catch up to his own pass. And now Yilmaz retreats. In many ways, the job of a false 9 is to make those center halves think, draw them out of position. Someone else then needs to take advantage, and no one else is.
Case in point made, Phil.
Looking in the middle, Bamba. Flag stays down too far for David as he looked for a second. Okay. Neymar.
That's where you look at Kevin De Bruyne, Silva, who understands how to play with a false 9. Phil Foden, Grealish, Mahrez. This team right now has really a tough time playing with a false 9 or creating anything for that matter. Just look up high right now, Phil. No reference point whatsoever.
Wijnaldum's tried to fill the pocket. Keeps it alive here. Threads it for Di Maria. Tries to go around Garbage. The flag stayed down on the shot, which sails wide. Either way, it's Lille ball. Take another look here. Just on.
Yeah, he's on. You're right. Celik holds him on. Gribic does well by staying high, fairly high, and forcing Di Maria to go far post. Still, though, I would think a player of Di Maria on his favorite left foot needs to find the target. Actually, great recovery at the end. But Jala, I think that force is almost a 50-50 for Di Maria. And going back to your point, the first time we've seen 3 or 4 players combined in central areas and being able to spring somebody 1v1.
Nice touch by Čeka. Driving in Ikone wide. Zeki Celik denied by Bernat.
Bernat does well because that ball's...
Čeka, cleats flashing. Ikone with the shot that's deflected wide. Lille keeping the pressure on in these final minutes of the first half.
Yeah, it's an excellent team performance, but that midfield 4 of Ikone, Čeka, Renato Sanch and Bamba have been absolutely brilliant. Stopping, forcing PSG in a not good passing kind of mode, and then giving you so much going forward.
Second half, maybe a chance to talk about how this Lille team was built and turned into a champion. Maybe proving they're not ready to give it up yet. Marquinhos clears, but right back into a wall of white. Reinildo sending it long, headed towards the 18. David causing problems, and he'll win another corner. PSG faithful with its share of whistles.
And correctly so, Phil. This is an uninspiring performance in all areas, technically, tactically, but more so physically and emotionally right now. It seems PSG's not in this game at all. And that's where you need to start rattling some cages if you're Pochettino, if you need a response.
Trying to drive through. Neymar playing some defense, dribbling through his own area, though. Yilmaz trying to pick his pocket, and he forces it to Ikone. Wide for the Turk. And now the flag comes up with the play at a stop. That was close, though, and it was, again, Neymar. Maybe a little too flashy for his own good. Jonathan David just after the half hour on a nice ball from Yilmaz. No Boltman, no Benjamin Andre for Lille. Nati, Hakimi. And again, Mbappe coming down with a throat infection at the start of the day. Messi was a question mark today, but that would have been asking a lot against the defending champions to go in without 2 of their big 3. Care. Pochettino, a lot more even-keeled as a manager than he ever was as a player. As you pointed out, he might need to bring out the whip at the half. With a back pass. Marquinhos. Di Maria heading to the final minute of regulation. Staying with him. Bamba. Cut in for Neymar. Pokes it for Wijnaldum, but he was brought down by Font. Free kick about 30 yards out.
A little late, no ball, a lot of the player. That's a good call. Is this Messi territory? I think it's probably too far out, Phil. So just for the half, get your big boys up. And see if a set piece can get you back in this game. Gribic setting him as well. First player, always run over past the near post, Phil. That's your first one. And normally your biggest guys are 2, 3, and 4 in the wall. So you go with a little bit smaller, beyond the post. 2, 3, and 4, the biggest guy, because that's normally where the ball goes. One facing the goalkeeper, well done, turns around. That's a big wall, by the way, Phil. And brave, probably.
No little guys. It always made me wonder why they do stick the little guys in the wall. Maybe sacrificial. Or it's the defenders telling the forwards, now you pay the price. 4 in the wall, a little window of blue. It's Messi taking aim and misfiring high and wide. 1 minute added and we're into it. Eight straight home victories for PSG in league play. Last time they lost against Lille back in April. Will it be 2 in a row in league and 3 in a row overall? Still another half to go. Lille could be the first team to win 2 straight away games in Paris since Stade Rennais did back in 2014. They're halfway there. Long ball up the middle, carries wide, and De La Rue will bring the first half to a close. Jonathan David is 8th of the season, and not just the whistles, they're outright boos from the fans of the Parc de France. PSG.
And hello everybody and welcome back to
And it is Lionel Messi who exits. Now remember, Neymar was substituted in the last game. We've seen Mbappe pulled before. Maybe Pochettino is playing musical chairs, but I'm not exactly sure Neymar did enough in that first half.
Messi did not train on Wednesday, I think it was, Phil, due to a knock, and was somewhat 50-50 based on what we heard. So this might be a precaution more than anything else, but still an interesting one.
Second half underway. Lille starts with the ball and the lead. Icardi coming in for Messi. Phil Shane and Thomas Roggen with you. Glad you've joined us. As you mentioned, Thomas, there was a question mark for Messi. Maybe that was part of it in a game that has proved to be rather intense. A push of the SAP button away. Alejandro Figueiredo and Juan Fernando Mora. Glad that all of you have joined us and hopefully enjoyed that first half. From a PSG perspective, the fans here, not so much, with a serenade of boos and whistles as they headed to the dressing room at the break, Thomas.
Yep, and boos when they started the second half as well, and correctly so, Phil. This team has underperformed in this first half. Lille only one clean sheet on the year, and this has more to do, I think, today with a poor PSG going forward than Lille being dominant defensively. The battles won or lost are in midfield.
Well, we'll get into the specifics of where the poverty falls. Nice work by Bamba to harass Marquinhos. And again, Yilmaz, he's a big, burly number 9, but he's out wide, creating space. Ikone in, Jonathan David back, and a kick save by Donnarumma. Still in danger across the 6. Yilmaz tries to drag it in, but denied by Kimpembe at the edge of the 6.
And pretty much the same recipe, Phil, as the first half. Lille again on the front foot, aggressive, bringing numbers in the 80-yard box, putting PSG under duress with great runs. Ikone, Bamba, obviously Jonathan David, and Yilmaz, who almost connected here on this play. Good first touch it is by Ikone. Brilliant ball to David. Great save by Donnarumma with his legs as well. Yilmaz comes in. And then the desperation tackle by Kimpembe that might have prevented
Does he
second
get the
goal.
ball, though? It looks like he got Yilmaz with his cleat. Maybe not. But VAR's getting a chance to take a look at this with Yilmaz on the ground.
Nobody, by the way, I think made real contact with this ball. But yes, there was some contact with Kimpembe on Yilmaz.
I want to ask you a couple of questions based on the stats in that first half. And I know your old boss, Bruce Arena, used to talk about first tackle, first foul, first shot, first goal. Kind of an intensity mentality to show that you're on physically and mentally. The first half of play.
Yeah, interesting.
No offside for PSG. In effect, they're not pushing the line against Lille, and no fouls conceded.
Yeah, for the longest period of time under Bob Bradley and even Klinsmann and Bruce Arena, when I was the chief scout for a few years, that was the first phrases on the flip over that Bruce Arena still used as well before every game to set the tone. And it's right. First tackle, first throw in, first corner, first goal.
And Jurgen Klinsmann used to say, get nasty a little bit.
Yeah.
Basically, to almost be insulted that the other team thinks they should be on the field with you. I'm not sensing that here from PSG. They're still looking, maybe not for answers, they're still trying to figure out the questions.
Yeah, which is a great point, Phil, that you make, obviously. I said the first half, technically and tactically, they've underperformed. But where they've underperformed the most is physically and emotionally, where they have not been in this game. They've duels lost as well against Lille. Aerials won by Lille.
Oh, Neymar. Almost too much mustard on that hot dog.
And they have certain coaches that inspire. Poor loss of possession again by Neymar. That play there sums it up, Phil. Lackadaisical, not in tune with what's going on. And you got to look at Pochettino to a certain extent, because that's where it starts.
Not exactly 2 walls of 4. Lille is dropping its back line, and it's holding midfielder in Cheka, but the rest are harassing PSG almost at every turn.
And at times, like here, Phil, a fairly high line.
Cross Di Maria. Wide for Bernat. Into the middle. Nice work by Reinildo, but gets caught up with Icardi. Last year, Lille got off to a pretty good start, and by about 7 matches in, that was the first time they touched the top spot. PSG knocked them down a step, but Lille staying in touching distance. The point that of the last 16 rounds, they were in first place, 15 of them, and most importantly at the end. This time around, a really slow start that saw them down in the relegation zone 3 rounds in. You kind of expect that with a new man in charge. Nice by Neymar. Dishes wide for Di Maria. Wijnaldum pushing into the 18. Di Maria tangled up. De La Rue looking and does not call. Furiously looking at the video up in the booth, the VAR officials, but at the moment, not a clear penalty, says the ref.
Well, we got 2 to look at. The Yilmaz one, which to me still is, and then this one with Di Maria. Hard to see.
Reaching in. Look to get the ball both times.
Absolutely, Phil. Nothing there.
So that's the one that Di Maria is nursing. Look at Yilmaz on the other, and watch the cleats come out from Kimpembe.
And that's a great point, Phil. And he touches Yilmaz on the shin right there. Boom.
That could be a red card.
That's a great point. That's an absolutely great point. And Yilmaz knows it's coming as well, and braces himself, and can't really focus on the ball, knowing the impact of Kimpembe. Studs up out there. That's a red card and a penalty, in my opinion. This one, not much there.
Well, 1-0 the score. PSG trying to put some pressure on. Talked about it a few times over the season, Thomas, but as a manager who's been in a similar position, stepping in for a very successful one. Maybe from Jocelyn Gourvenec. Remember, he was kind of out of favor for a season.
Yeah, unemployed when he really did the Lille job, and underwhelmed.
Nice
pretty much up to this half here, where we see the old Lille coming back. Huge game for Lille and the new head coach.
And to strip it away, Neymar comes but poked again. A little extra twist to try and draw the referee's sympathy. Well, it looked like they had everything locked up. Yilmaz from distance, but Bamba was reading a different page.
Yeah, he was.
A loss against Clermont, the draw against Stade Brestois. They would have been able to win those games where they went in heavily favored. They could be challenging for a Champions League spot here. Nice tackle, Diallo. We were wondering how he would do in place of Botman. He's been nearly foot perfect.
Yes, they all have been, Phil. And if PSG's not on with their 3 or 4 outstanding individual players, then all of a sudden the pace of Mbappe, Hakimi, and Mendes really is hurting this team right now. Not great speed in that midfield and that front 3 line right now. That's why you can see Lille can step a little bit, because they're not afraid that Mbappe is going to run behind them, or Hakimi is bombing forward from a right fullback position. Neither fullback from PSG really involved in the final third.
Good point. Speed kills, they say. Nice ball for Neymar. Tries to sneak it through. Garbage with the stop and the pop, and it looks like Wijnaldum caught him at the very end.
Yeah, nice give and go there. He caught it, he's showing for the ball, and I tell you, Wijnaldum is on field with the outside of the right foot. I understand he wants to go inside of the foot, maybe not making the goalkeeper. Wijnaldum is hitting Bridge with the shin. There again, that goal. Oh. The way Yilmaz shakes off Kerr, who's athletically pretty decent, and the way Jonathan David just fades away from Marquinhos, almost knowing he has to go to kill the passing lane.
PSG pressuring in the 18, out wide for Zeki Celik. Nice work out of danger, and here comes Lille the other way.
Brilliant.
Kimpembe reaching through, and he got it cleanly. Now Marquinhos to the attack. More on that goal in a moment, but PSG battling to equalize. Bernat forgot something.
Yeah.
The other point, when we saw it there from the angle above, Yilmaz had already started the pass back before David made the jump back. Chance as he looks to return the favor, and a top hand save by Donnarumma, and David can't put it on the top shelf as he skies the rebound.
Every time Lille is able to go in transition offense, look at the turn by Kone, and they're off to the races. Good numbers again, at least even numbers. Yilmaz involved again. Great play back by Renato Sanchen. David just cannot get a tough bouncing ball, Phil, on target.
Well, could have been two. Will they regret it? Neymar again. Cheka poking it free, not once but twice. And Neymar left looking at his heels.
I think that Cheka's last two plays with Neymar sums it up. They're willing to get dirty. They're willing to go in there. They're willing to challenge, win 50-50s, which they've done, and PSG is poor.
Canildo with the afterburners on. David holding his run, settles, drops for Yilmaz, and Ganagay there to strip it away.
Yeah, the only thing you can right now, are these opportunities wasted? Are you keeping PSG alive?
No, the other way for Di Maria. Wijnaldum trying to be that trailing run. Messi on the bench. Mbappe unavailable. Icardi's been called in to join Di Maria and Neymar. They do have a shot on target in the second half, but little more to show for it. And in fact, possession has now flipped the other way. It's 58% for Lille.
Every time they break pressure, Phil, there are half chances, full chances, and the inability for Lille right now to put that game potentially out of reach might hurt them later on. PSG's been down several times this year and always been able to find a way back into games.
And to the point where maybe they weren't as good as it looked on paper, but there is something to be said for winning. Just think back, very start of the season, PSG was a little slow out of the gate against second division champ Troyes. Ball blasted and Garbage pushing it wide. He actually went down in that one. Needed goals from Hakimi and Icardi. Next match against Strasbourg was 4-2, but it was a 3-2 match with Strasbourg pushing forward in the final moments. Even against Stade Brestois, they were battling. Had to pull it out of the fire late. And they do it again here as we reach the hour mark. No one has scored more goals or won more points in the final 5 minutes of matches. I'm sure Gourvenec drove that into his team's mind. Di Maria measures. Can't get it past Font. Trying to go through again. And it was Zeki Celik flying in to the rescue. Marquinhos, only 6 feet tall, but lethal in the air. Di Maria over Gerbic, looking for Kimpembe, but Thiago Jallo standing strong.
He's been almost flawless. That's the ball from distance by Di Maria that we normally see Herrera or even Gana Gay. PSG's been very predictable the way they go forward, Phil, so the variety of attacks are important. Strike balls from distance, get your fullbacks overlapping, getting some crosses in, allowing Icardi as their true number 9 to be effective. So far it hasn't happened.
Yilmaz on the receiving end there. Talk about the two old men, because we're looking at a relatively young Lille squad, but it was the arrival of Fonch a couple of years ago that stiffened the defense, and Yilmaz, who was plucked away in his later stint with Besiktas, who sparked the attack. Fonch was playing in China. People had given up on him, and now he's arguably one of the best defenders on the planet.
And not only did they bring experience, obviously, and are they still playing at the highest level without a doubt, for club and country for that matter. But what they bring in the locker room, what they bring every day, probably on the training pitch, which pretty much you can see right here. We work hard, we're brave, we are a team, we're together. That's the opposite of what we see of the team in blue right now. And persevering through some struggles this season, putting probably the best 60-minute performance on off the year.
Talked about the inability to get shots on goal for Lionel Messi. No one has more shots in Ligue than Messi without a goal. 15 shots, but just 4 on target, and none have found the net. And someone step up in his absence here. Ganagay out wide. Di Maria curls. Jallo clears. Big Danilo double teamed, who keeps it alive. One bright spot has been Bernat. Again, for a player who was out of action for more than a year, looks like he's going to be able to be counted. That was a reckless challenge by Zeki Celik going in on Neymar. That one hard to argue with.
Yeah, that's not smart again. With 30 minutes left, with your opponent being Neymar probably 80% of the time, there's again no need. The sideline is your friend. Neymar's going absolutely nowhere. He's turning back in order to probably play a ball backwards to switch the point of attack.
Did the same thing with Bernat earlier in the match, and
now
he wasn't going to get away with this one.
Yeah. Again, you give up a dead ball situation. You put yourself under duress in the next few tackles, which you have to make against Neymar probably, or Di Maria, or Barnett overlapping.
Celik plucked away 3 years ago from Istanbulspor. Ball in back post looking for Marquinhos. Gerbic tangled. The whistle blows. Kerr getting caught up with the Lille keeper.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Ronaldo does unbelievable against Marquinhos there. Turns his back, forces the contact for Marquinhos, one of the better aerial guys in the world, to prevent a clean look for him.
One man against the PSG defense. David dispossessed.
Yeah, just put yourself in the shoes of Pochettino and, for instance, Marquinhos and Kimpembe. They play every game with 1 or 2 different guys in front of them. Every game with 1 or 2 different guys on their sides as their fullbacks. And I'm telling you, those two have been pretty darn good throughout.
PSG about ready to make a couple more changes. And the first one is going to be Dagba for Kerr, so more natural right back coming in. And it will be Bernat coming out for Mendes. So the other thing he's doing is fresh legs on the flanks. Time to hit the accelerator.
Yeah, both players, Phil, both were somewhat, one in particular involved in the goal, obviously. Kerr, who should have the instincts and the understanding to not allow Yilmaz to go end line and get the cross in on the goal. And on Bernat's side, that's where most of the counter-attacking, promising attacks happened for Lille as well. So both fullbacks, on both sides of the ball, underperforming today. The right changes, although in my opinion, too late.
Cardi, a rare touch. Of course, finding that little pocket between the two towering center backs, Jallo and Font, not easy. Danilo dropping back between the center backs as they've really taken the brakes off Dagba and Mendes. 3-3-4 at the moment, with Di Maria lurking behind the front. Wide for Mendes. Neymar wants it back, but Font's in the way, and he just plays it safely into touch.
Interesting. Twice they've threatened a little bit. Twice Icardi has been somewhat involved, although that's a tough one. Font reads that brilliantly, Phil. Prevent that give and go.
In swinger from Neymar. Gervich plays his line. Headed up and over. Danilo screaming at the heavens.
Every ball is fought for, Phil. On the ground, in the air, Yilmaz right in the back of Danilo. Makes it very uncomfortable. That's what Lille does to you if they're on. Make an uncomfortable team, and within that chaos, still try to play out of that 4-4-2. They've done brilliantly.
Looked to be a push on Kimpembe. Yilmaz on the front. Advantage had been played well by the referee Amaury de la Rue, and it'll be a free kick for Lille. Well, after this, PSG on the road to Germany to take on Jesse Marsch and Leipzig. And while Leipzig have been off to a bumpy start under the American, they gave PSG all they could handle.
Yep. That was another come-from-behind victory for PSG. Just like
with about 70 minutes in.
Yeah, and also against Angers.
To the inside, Ikone. Strong run through for Yilmaz, but Kimpembe in the way again. Celik comes back. Neymar was waiting for the cameras to flash, and Celik strips it off his feet.
And that's the difference right now. If you look at Ikone and Bamba, if that's the ball into them, they're off to the races. A full explosion. Neymar slows down a little bit, wants to attract people. Does not look over his shoulder, by the way, to see that the recovery is being made by Celik. Good defending, but poor again by Neymar.
After the Leipzig game, showdown against Vlad Petkovic and Bordeaux, who have been struggling a bit under their new manager, Swiss and former Lazio man, though above the drop zone at the moment. And then taking on Nantes, and then that big showdown in the Eastlands against Man City at the end of November. For Lille, they have their return against Sevilla. They need to do something to try and climb into the top two there, and then Angers, then a trip to Monaco, and then back to the Champions League against Salzburg.
And what better way to turn the season really around than today for this team against PSG.
Mendes getting a fortunate bounce. Neymar. Kanagay for Wijnaldum. Back to the Brazilian. Turns into the defense. Drives it. Deflected. Off target. And it was Font reaching in to save the day.
PSG, that's a great turn and acceleration, by the way, by Neymar to get away from Xhaka. But then Font again reading things so quickly.
Another in-swinger from Neymar. Up and over Marquinhos. Caught the ball, but couldn't get on top of it.
He's so brave. He goes places where it hurts, Phil, against some very big white jerseys. And and still is able, in between Font and Jallo, to get a piece of the ball just too high. Can't redirect it to the far post, but the ability again for a smaller guy in this case compared to some of his opponents to read things, leap a little bit earlier, to use other people's bodies to continue to get more leap is absolutely brilliant.
Well, we're not there yet, but we did see Ronald Koeman sacrificed on the Barcelona altar after a disappointing start. And a lot has been expected of Pochettino at PSG.
Yeah, a lot of coaches, dead men walking. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer over his league. By the way, he gained Ronaldo. Koeman lost Messi. But
a little different there.
I understand, though, that it was time for a change.
Into the middle for Idrissa Gana Gueye. Kissed off by Neymar, lays it down for Di Maria. A brilliant build-up, but a woeful shot.
Not an easy one, Phil, but you're right. Nice combination play right there. Gueye plays the ball in. First touch by Neymar. The layoff by Icardi again. Shows you 3 times now they've had some decent looks, Phil, because their number 9, their focal point, is involved, and just play off him.
Font again, shutting the door. But over the last 5-7 minutes, it's been PSG on the front foot. Lille needs to do something to keep him honest. Maybe time for a change. They do have fresh legs in Timothy Weah. Let's see what they do. Sanchez out wide. Here's Reinildo. Good run, Bamba. Yilmaz and David camped out near the spot. Back to Sanchez. In for Reinildo. On the 18, weaves towards the goal line, tries to cross, gets a second chance, and dribbles his way out. Now Sanchez, 3 to beat, appeals for a handball. The ref said he saw it, and nothing doing.
Probably not done by design, Phil, but that sequence took about 45 seconds, and I think that Lille is very aware of the clock right now. When are you going to sit in? When are you going to kill the game a little bit? When do you get balls over the top out wide and just stand on it for some support? Or do you continue to have the same mentality to go for 2?
Pushed wide for Di Maria. Service in for Icardi! Garbage at his mercy, and he misses the frame.
But much better this second half again. The give and go right there. Neymar's involved. Gana Gueye plays, or Mendes plays the ball. And again, the difference fullbacks can make, Phil, because it opens things up for other players like a Di Maria, like an Icardi. And this is ideal for a number type 9 that Icardi is. The header, perfect. Doesn't have to jump, just needs to make contact. Just goes over, but a good spell by PSG.
Token pressure by PSG, but it forces the turnover. Lille out of sorts. Gourvenek doing nothing but hope at the moment, it appears. Icardi camped out near the spot. Has some company from Neymar. Di Maria wide. Dagba and Mendes have done their job so far. Neymar into the buzzsaw, and Renato Sanchez plucks the ball off his boot. Back for Celik. Saw the pressure. Out wide with Neymar. Bundled off the ball. Looks like he might have had the final touch. There's the fire that the PSG fans wanted to see. Marquinhos all the way up near the opposing 18. Good ball for Di Maria. Lifting it across. Marquinhos!
Served up and carved open the last 5 minutes his team. The initial ball to Icardi, the miss. Here he is again, driving end line, head is up. And what a brilliant scoop this is, Phil. This is not a pass. This is a scoop with the intent to get it over 3 or 4 white jerseys and to fight Marquinhos, who said, you know what, I'm going to stay a little bit higher after that set piece and let other people do the work. Well done, Di Maria. Even better by their captain and inspiration, Marquinhos, who threatened the set pieces and now gets a goal in open play.
First goal of the season for Marquinhos, although he's going to be sad to see October go, Thomas. Had 2 goals in the recent window for Brazil and now a 3rd in the month for PSG. Now it looks like VAR might be looking at something here.
Might be maybe Di Maria offsides, maybe on the ball from Neymar initially.
And Marquinhos a little nervous. Now, was there an offside? Was there interference? Well, it looks like he bumps into the keeper, but it looks like Reinildo is the man that pushed him there. So the goal will count, and we're tied at 1.
Yeah, if that's what they looked at, Phil, that's the right call. You're right. He got his momentum, is going that way. He gets pushed even by a Lille player. That's the correct call.
So there is a change for Lille. Burak Yilmaz out. The Belgian mid Amadou Onana is in. So David will run the front line with Bamba and Ikone. And Gorvanek trying to avoid getting run over by PSG here in the final quarter hour.
It's easy to sit here, Phil, but I would sacrifice Selling, quite frankly, after the yellow card. Case in point, the 3 great chances eventually to goal all come from his side.
And the ball inside from that flank, cleared away Jallo.
And Seling's game is aggression, tackling.
Marquinhos strips Sanchez. Fans starting to roar. Neymar. Di Maria. Carried away. Cheka, who's pinned back in his own 18. Quickly back into play, PSG. They can smell the blood in the water.
And again, the starting points of the fullbacks are so much higher.
Di Maria to the edge of the 6. Icardi cutting across. Jallo at the touch.
But they didn't have to the first half, Phil. Everything is contested right now. Really crafting a lot harder by PSG. Keeping things alive, i.e. a throw-in right now.
By the way, for all the flaws, nice idea by Di Maria. It was Neymar who won the ball back for PSG and passed it off. Take another look. By the way, the substitute ready to check in will be the young American Timothy Weah, son of a former PSG legend and a PSG protege in his own right. Likely Bamba or Ikone coming out. So let's see if any of them can provide a spark before they do. Stripped away. It's Nuno Mendes defensively. Di Maria with Neymar. Taken down by Onana. Advantage. Chipped into the 18. Cheka takes it away. Still down in a heap. Angel Di Maria. Got clocked. Nothing intentional.
Yeah, that follow through of the leg hit him at the back of the head. And there's our U.S. men's international Timothy Weah. Scored a huge goal against Costa Rica to make it 2-1 in the last World Cup qualifying game. What a good skill set.
Again, part of the thing with PSG is he never quite fit in, especially at a younger age. As we take a look at Di Maria's magic.
It certainly was, Phil. That's a tough ball to play. The scoop/pass And again, all the danger in that second half, or after the yellow card, until it came on that left side. Neymar, Di Maria, crosses, shots from distance. And the ability for Mendes to play high in the pitch, that gives Di Maria and Neymar the opportunity to play in to out to in, because we have width now.
Way of making the run. Sanchez spots him. Mendes cuts it out. Again, getting back to how he fits in with Lille. Little push from Onana. Referee says no foul. Again, going back to that initial Lille surge, where it was Bamba, Ikone, and Nicolas Pepe. They love that speed on the flanks.
Yeah, and they utilized that perfectly, Phil.
Here's Weah, good work into the area, but David didn't hear the footsteps, and Kimpembe with another shot-denying stop. PSG leveling things up. Seem to have taken their foot off the gas a bit, allowing Lille to come at them. Celik tried to go outside of the right. David with a touch. Onana couldn't get there, and it's back to Donnarumma.
Well done by Danilo, by the way.
What a weapon Marquinhos is. Yep. It's runs like that, goals like that, why both Thomas Tuchel in his PSG stint and Tite with Brazil have each tried to find a way to get Marquinhos further up the field. He's just so darn good defensively, you need him there.
Yeah. The tactical tweak has helped him as well, Phil, but 15 or 20 minutes ago, they've gone through a 3, Kimpembe in the left zone, Marquinhos and Danilo. That even gets the fullbacks higher up the pitch out of a 3-5-2 or 3-4-3.
Mendes, a little bobble by Gerbic, but he gets there first. So again, the Lille defense showing it's not quite up to where it was last year.
Good point, Phil. Only one clean sheet this year.
Edge of the 18, Donnarumma over. By the way, again, Donnarumma getting the start here today. Even though Keylor Navas seemed to have held on to it. Donnarumma on the verge of going 3-0-1. This would be the first blemish if PSG can't find a winner. Neymar off Cheka. Little heel flick Icardi. Dummied through. Marquinhos takes it. Agba made his debut in the last round. Getting a chance here off the bench again. Nice by Reinildo, still in play. PSG first to the loose ball. Mendes carries all the way. Di Maria over Icardi for Neymar. Good defense by Cheka and blasted back into the PSG end.
Yeah, both Di Maria and Neymar really responded the last 15 minutes. Phil, Neymar with that secondary assist brings Di Maria on the go with Marquinhos, and both of them showing some real endeavor. Di Maria playing on both flanks, out wide on the right side right now, and throwing Lille's defense in some disarray.
Inside Di Maria, but it got away from him. Sanchez with a flurry of blue around, spins the other way. Weah trying to find a gap, going at Kimpembe. Again, used to him in practice. What can he do in the game? Has a go near post, but forced wide.
Yeah, you got to give PSG some real kudos, Phil. Great in the transition defense. No real options for Timothy Weah. Goes out wide and really hits that one.
Wijnaldum out. Draxler in, an offensive substitution from Pochettino. By the way, maybe the game of the season for Presnel Kimpembe. leads the team in tackles on the day and in interceptions, and only Idrissa Gana Gueye has won the ball back from Lille more.
Yeah, and sacrificing his body, although it should have probably been a penalty on the Yilmaz tap-in.
Neymar threads it through, and down low Icardi, but wide. Did Grbić push it wide? That's what PSG is saying. Was there a touch, but a beautiful ball from Neymar. And it does look like it glanced off the leg of Grbić.
What a great ball by Neymar. Outside of the foot, perfect. Great first touch, by the way. And even better, save by Grbić. Brilliant.
And the added benefit of no VAR on boundary plays. So Lille gets the ball back. Neymar sticking a little boot in, and it looks like the ref caught him. Let's see what happens here, but Jose Font drawing Neymar's wrath, who draws the yellow from the official. Well, he is the straw that stirs at times a very cloudy drink. Neymar makes things happen.
Yeah, he certainly does, Phil. He's made things happen in the last 20 minutes, without a doubt, with the ball. Now he's making it happen without. At a time that PSG is really pushing. At a time, I think that Icardi is going to say, oh, I would love to get both of those back. My header and the great opportunity.
Second caution of the season for Neymar. By the way, Reinildo, his fifth earlier. I think he's going to have to miss the next match for Lille. Nice work by the triple team. Draxler playing some defense. Tries to sneak it through to Neymar, and Jose Font leaving a message. Gorvanek not happy. Down to the final 3 minutes. Mentioned again, no one's won more points than PSG in these final 5 minutes. Can they do it again?
And the exercise for Lille is to get a point out of this game on the road, Phil, after being dominant throughout about 50, 55 minutes. And rude some missed opportunities to go to 2-0. So now you got to salvage at least a point, whereas I think this team probably deserves 3.
Well, you think about it. The last 2 matches have arguably been the 2 biggest rivals for PSG. The historic one with Marseille and the champions from last year in Lille. And in that stretch, PSG has dropped 4 points. I don't know if I'd quite say they feel like 2 wins, but they've kept everyone at arm's length. Although, again, if Lens could find a victory, they would draw within 4 of the lead. Here's Di Maria. Neymar lays it back for the Argentine! Oh! It doesn't get much prettier than that! They've done it again!
It's been the Neymar Di Maria show, Phil, for the last 20 minutes. In particular, Di Maria has been absolutely brilliant. There's the slow build-up. There's the movement. Overlapping Diallo on the right. And Icardi keeping 2 defenders at bay, opening up that little area for Neymar. The brilliant give and go between the Argentine and the Brazilian. And what a good finish by Di Maria, who, by the way, has been involved in 121 goals in 179 league matches, Phil, since 2015-16. Ranking 3rd now, all players in Ligue 1.
making some changes. Too little, too late. Bamba out, Yusuf Yazici in. Talented Turkish playmaker, but they don't give him a lot of time. Way is flipped out to the left. Yazici now on the right. Can Lille salvage a point? We've talked about this from day one, Thomas. You can talk about the weakness. Di Maria, by the way, challenging Reinildo and then getting landed on. But we'll let the referee decide that. What's your ruling on PSG? Is this a team that struggles, or is this a team that stands up to challenges?
That's it. You can look at it that way. I'm sure that PSG brass and Pochettino is saying, yeah, we'll take Phil Shane's Leonard comment. It is endeavor. But, Phil, you know as well as I do, in the big games, we're talking about, separation there, Kimpembe. Helping actually Renato Sanches to get away from a potential conflict.
Neymar coming over.
PSG finds a way out of predicament again. And we've done them all year long, Phil. We think we've said that too often. Saying that, again, one loss in all competitions. A gap with Lille that is probably unsurmountable for Lille to even bridge.
Di Maria challenging for that ball, paying the price as Reinildo landed on him.
Brilliant goal. Even better assist, I think, against Marquinhos. Clearly the man of the match.
And again, as you pointed out, watch Icardi draw the attack, draw the defense.
That allows that little half space for Neymar, and also it opens up running lanes for Di Maria, for instance, because both center backs are occupied and can't step certain areas because somebody keeps them occupied, which they didn't have to do in the first half.
And you look at Jallo, he had to step up on Neymar. You couldn't leave him open at the top of the 18. And it was Onana trying to come back. Maybe you would imagine Reinildo should have slid in with Di Maria. But regardless, just as brilliant as the Jonathan David goal was in moving the defenders around, that one was as well. And Andres Herrera checking in. Di Maria will slide to the sideline for treatment as this match gets back underway. 4 minutes added. We're already into the 93rd minute. I would imagine we'll see at least 2 or 3 more. But for Lille, this has to be heartbreak. And Thomas, it also just shows how different this team is under Galtier and Gourvenec.
Yeah, we talked about Pochettino, obviously, always being on the hot seat. That's the way it goes with PSG. You got to look at Gourvenec right now and about the decision made, bringing somebody in that was out of the game for a while.
Zichi. Gay shuts the door. Sanchez driving in. It'll have to be a throw. Good run checkup if they can find him. Down goes Sanchez. Free kick Lille.
But the aggression that Dagba and Mendes brought to this team defensively, yeah, it's a foul right now, but nobody being able to turn the corner. Yilmaz did that first goal. Mendes just going forward. Dagba involved, by the way, playing the ball into.
Lifted in towards the spot, deflected away by Pereira. Lille will head to the corner and take it again. It's up to the referee. We might see an adjustment on that added time.
Yep.
But also maybe something in the area. The referee hearing from VAR, but it looks like he's just going to play on. Maybe the final play of the match. Pon and Kimpembe making friends.
What a battle that is. Two hard-nosed but very fair players that respect each other.
And now with Cheka as well, and Font not appreciating the attention.
There's some real battles going on right there. Danilo against Onana as well.
Could also even argue, unless they know there's a little more time to be added, Lille could be putting their keeper up, but at the moment it's just the 10 field players cleared away by Herrera. Actually, Icardi. Here comes Sanchez, but he can't catch up with the ball.
And if you talk about coaches, Phil, you got to say Pochettino's. We're not sure yet what happened at halftime with Messi due to an injury, but made the right changes at the right time. Icardi and then the two fullbacks as well. Gourvenec is going to say, I should have maybe gone to my bench a little bit earlier.
Di Maria sharing in the celebration.
What a match. Highly underrated, always flying under the radar of obviously Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe.
Talked about it before the game, but all the attention focused on those three. You could argue Icardi and Di Maria have been the danger men. Di Maria's goal and assist.